Good evening, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Spent a good weekend doing the T-line training. I hope everybody got more information than they were expecting. Rob, when somebody offers an announcement on the about a new offering, I don't get as panicky. Usually, it will take a day or two for it to quickly recover. All right. So again, this is based upon simple observation. Simple observation. The Nasdaq's back up above the T-line, above where they gapped down the other day. Same scenario on the Dow. So if nothing more, where we can't really read what's happening, we can at least see what type of patterns are setting up. Kind of a scoop pattern on the Dow. But more importantly, as long as we're back up above the T-line, negating this whole down move, that may become a more powerful, let's say, stronger trend analysis indication that they took profits or got cleared out a lot of sellers, and then the buyers will step back in, less selling in the way anymore. That could start that scoop type breakout. And then on top of that, with the Nasdaq, somewhat the same, but still kind of a scoop type pattern. Is the Dow chart an island reversal? I don't think so. No, not really. Remember, an island reversal is when you see something gap down and then trades for a while and then gaps back up so you can draw a circle right around it. And that's not on this chart. Okay, we're going to do kind of the futures real quick because they're all doing what they've been expected to do. You can see what's happening in crude oil ever since it came back up above the T-line on kind of a cradle pattern. Still looks like when it went through the 50, now it's going to the 200. Gold, did a little bobble in this area at the moving averages, still heading higher. We have this too big. So still have a steady uptrend. Oh boy. We're looking to go back long on a positive trading tomorrow in cattle. As you can see the pattern. J-hook pattern coming out of a fry pan bottom. And so for those trading pattern type situations, notice that we've broken this little downtrend. We've got a J-hook, but there's also another thing we watch for. If they can't get back up through this high, if they do another sell signal right in here, that changes our trajectory. That tells us now we've got a downtrending channel for a while versus anything that's real tradable. And what else do we have? The dollar. Still heading lower. Actually broke this support level with a bearish J-hook pattern. So with the Dow trading down, and again, we were mentioning this yesterday, that if you want to be trading Forex, I don't trade the Forex because most of the time it's difficult to analyze what one direction is to the other. But as we can see, the 45-degree on the bullish side for the British pound and the euro J-hook pattern bouncing off the 200. So starting to move a little bit away from the T line. So you're probably getting in an area where you're ready to start taking some profits on these. All right, we don't have a whole lot. I say we don't have a whole lot of. We've got a lot of analysis of the existing charts that we're trading. We recommended GOGL today because we had one of your strongest signals, a bullish flutter kicker signal. Notice a dark candle, gap up doji, then a gap up bullish confirmation. If you took the little flutter out of here, you got a kicker signal. Anticipate this coming back up at least to fill the gap here at the 50, which gives you about a 15% further upside. And then if it breaks through there, it has the possibility of coming back up into the existing trend prior to the pullback. Gives you a heck of a lot more upside. Cala, we also recommended today because of the big fry pan bottom pattern, J-hook breakout. Stay long on this one. Where's the next likely target? Could be in this same trajectory, taking you all the way up here. So, I mean, these aren't real difficult charts to analyze. We also recommended LNTH today because if it opened positive after the Morningstar signal, right here on the T line, we knew what type of pattern we were heading into. Again, your classic fry pan bottom J-hook pattern. I was also pointing out in the afternoon newsletter that part of the other people that say, oh, I watch RSI, relative strength index, you don't have to do that other than analyzing the chart. Remember on Wednesday, we had a big down day, and look what our BBR was doing. After it broken out on this little Morningstar signal with your best friend gap up, it was holding up pretty well. And what told us that this was a good trade still? Because it really didn't sell off in a big down market. So, again, this is where the correct trade ratio is much better than trying to be in something where you're going to hit the absolute bottom and get out at the absolute top. We were buying right in here after it broke out. We were buying the June 10 calls, as we put out on the, I think it was on the 15th, at 34 cents. Because, I mean, if it had sold off hard on Wednesday, now we would have been back out of the trade. The fact that it held up reasonably well tells us they weren't selling it off, and obviously when you saw what it did today, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, the 34-cent calls that we bought are now trading at about $1.50. So this is all kind of relating to, somebody asked the other day, well, what type of returns do you make consistently on your trades? Unfortunately, it's not consistent. Sometimes you go through a market period where you're not making a whole lot of money. There's other times when everything not seems to be working well, but there's trading in patterns that you can recognize. Again, for each $2,200 margin we had on these cattle contracts, we made $6,700 on each one of them. Now we're looking to get back into live cattle, except going into the August. So you have a trade or you have a few trades in a row where you've made on 4 or 5 contracts $6,700 a piece, and then you've got we made some money, not a whole lot on this trade, which was buying the light calls. We bought them for 70 cents, sold them for $1.70 on Friday. And then we started buying the June, I forget what one's it called, June 60s for $2. So our bad trades in this situation or in this market is making 100%, and the good trades have the potential of making 300, 400, 500% return. And that's that's happening on, forget what I bought these calls for. I didn't recommend them because I had recommended the light trade at the same time. But Cena, we were buying the calls right here. I think they were the 85s, which have now produced, didn't buy very much of them, but produced enough profits to, again, buy a 1966 Cadillac convertible. So there's a ton of situations. What's happening here? Son of a gun. That's what's happening. My voice thing gets turned on. Well, I'll be. Turned right back on again. What's happening here? You can see the Bob O J-hook pattern. This one is probably going to be recommended tomorrow, mainly because we know what the percentage return could be. We're still looking for this one to move potentially back up to the top of the channel, giving you about a 25-30% upside potential. Where would you put a buy stop or whatever label is to buy BBRY tomorrow at a positive open? Carol, this is, no, you don't buy this one. This is where you bought this one. This is now looking for when to take profits. Remember, you're not chasing after these trades. There's 3 periods of buying or of trading. 1, you're buying. 2, you're holding. And 3, you're starting to look for profits or take profits. That pretty much says if you've had a stock that has just gone up 30%, it's not in the mode to be bought. Now, something like this, where you can see the pattern has just started, yes, put a buy stop just above today's high at maybe 1750. That's where you put your buy stop. You want to be buying these. You don't. I'd rather be buying this here after this versus buying here because there's nothing here telling you how far it's going to go up or whether it's going to pull back. We want to be buying the pattern confirmations. So we've got things that had buy situations. Like right here, we put our buy stop right here once it broke out, because that told us we were in our next wave. That's APAT or APTI. CDE. This one can still be bought because if it starts trading positive and breaks out through here, we're still looking for it to head for the 200-day moving average. So we're not trying to buy the stocks that are moving. We're trying to buy the stocks before they move. ASPS just has a good prospect that if it starts breaking out, not a tremendously good chart, meaning not real powerful, but the reality is if this moves from here to here, you've got about a 35% upside potential, and you can see that it has the magnitude of moving in that type of fashion. So not only do you want to be finding the stocks that have the good patterns, you want to be finding the stocks that also, if they have a good pattern, have a decent percent return. Definitely want to be buying IDT because this one is telling you this is just now at the buy stage. Coming out of a bobble breakout, this is where you want to be buying on positive trading tomorrow. And then you've got the biggies, and this is why there wasn't a whole lot of concern, because notice that they really haven't sold Amazon off. They sold it off that day. The whole market was trading down and brought it right back up again. Amazon's a steady Eddie, and the reason I'm looking at this one is because we were trying to find good option trades on this one, and there isn't any. So you just buy the calls outright, which means you don't have any extra leverage. You're just buying on the basis that price trend still has the potential of moving to 1,000. Fry pan bottom, J-hook pattern on Apple. If you want to be trading Apple calls, that's a good one to be buying, especially on positive trading tomorrow. Just because you can recognize the pattern setting up, especially off the T-line. Same scenario on Netflix. If it starts trading positive, you can see the J-hook pattern. So this is why I'm pretty adamant that if you trade the patterns, Tesla, nothing. Nothing there to tell you there's anything extravagant. NVIDIA. NVIDIA has more potential because you can also see the J-hook pattern. You could also see the best friend breakout of this downtrending resistance level. That tells you want to stay long until you see a sell signal. What's our anticipated target? Well, if you kind of draw a line up through here, I'm looking for it to come up into this range, which means you're looking at around 150, 155, still more upside. And XLNX, there's your kind of J-hook pattern breakout, and notice how they started the next wave with a little left-right combo right here on the T-line. So this is why I always like to trade the patterns, because they're going to produce a lot more upside potential for two reasons. One, they're more than likely going to move in the direction you expect them to, and two, if they work, the rate of return is going to be dramatically better than something that's just slowly moving up during a slow uptrend. Okay, a few more that look good. AAOI. You can see the J-hook pattern here. First target is the top of this channel. So if you drew a line straight up through there, you want to see what happens once it gets want to see where these patterns are working. Now, if this is wave one, and this is an expected resistance level, you'd expect wave three to be more up here, so you're looking for it to break out. And SORL was one that everybody's been watching. You can see the slow curve breakout. Now, if you took profits today, which would have been a wise thing to do, you watch your 10-minute chart. Is it possible to have a protective stop with options? You can do what they call a contingency order, but I don't know if you can do them electronically or whether you have to call the broker. But a contingency order is, let's say you own the calls on NVIDIA and you expect it to go this way. You can say, all right, if it comes back down and trades to 135, then close out my option trade. So it's contingent based upon what the underlying stock is doing. You don't say, all right, my options right now are trading, bidding 380. They're asking 4. I'm going to put a sell stop in at 355, or you do it more on a contingency order of what the price of the underlying entity is doing. All right, so when we look at a situation like this, let's say more like this, that kind of a J-hook pattern setting up. This is why in the past I've said, all right, we're seeing a lot of fry pan bottoms, so that's the ones you want to be playing right now, the breakouts, because next month you might see things like the best friend signal, or as we're seeing right now, we're seeing a heck of a lot of J-hook patterns. So we know the patterns. Here's DDD, fry pan bottom breakout. You've got a much more clear analysis But if this starts trading positive, you've got your classic fry pan bottom J-hook pattern. AME, J-hook pattern. Fry pan bottom, J-hook pattern starting with your best friend. So if it trades up above this level, you definitely want to be a buyer. I'm writing that one down because when you can see a pattern where you know that your upside potential on this may be another 7 points, taking you up pretty close to 70, you can start seeing on a timing basis that if you're not buying the stock, you're buying the options. You probably want to be buying right at the time that it's breaking out. OLLI, Ollie's discount stores. Another fry pan bottom, just about ready to break out. There's a bunch of them. LPSN, another fry pan bottom. So if we know that this moved from, let's say, the 650 level to the 1050 level, we might be looking at 4 points from here, taking you up to about 1350. You trade the option mostly if you buy. You trade the option mostly of you buy and sell the actual stock. Say that again, SS. I don't understand what you asked. Do you trade the option mostly or buy and sell the actual stock? It depends on that's up to each individual. If I'm trading my option account, I'm trading options. If I'm trading a $1 million portfolio, I'm probably buying the stock. They don't want to be trading options. They want to be more secure. Rick, you can do that also, yes. Kind of calculate what the value will be. Unfortunately, what happens though is if you're in an uptrend and the options are trading at a certain price, as soon as you see a sell signal or it starts slowing down, those option prices drop relatively quickly. Let's see, we did NVIDIA, ESM, another J-hook pattern in the making. When you start seeing the doji gap ups, that tells you there's going to be a strong move. Now you're starting to see some gap ups on this one. Bob, that's a different strategy. That's kind of what I call it. And again, everybody has their own method of trading. But if I did that sort of trading, just something like this, but if I had put a 10% gain on this one after buying at 30, so what did I say, 34 cents, if I had put a stop at 38 cents, taking my 10%, I'd have missed out on that move. I'm not buying based upon a preconceived profit target. I'm buying on the basis that my profit targets are based upon strong moves coming out of a signal or pattern that's going to give me an inordinate profit. Here's Eros, another J-hook pattern. And notice again, this goes back to the very simple analysis that if they break through a resistance level, they come back and test it, see if it's going to act as support. If that support level is acting as support, where do you think the next target's going to be? You can pretty much calculate what your upside is for this next move. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, you can always take yeah, You can always close your spreads at any time. Let's see, where am I? SI. So everybody has their own strategy. My strategy is I want to find something where if I hit or if I put on a trade, I've got the prospects of making money with it, and then have bigger prospects that if it hits big, I'm not going to make a 30, 40, 50% return. I might make a 300, 500, 700,000% return. Another J-hook pattern. Notice where this J-hook pattern occurred. Right here at the top of this resistance level. What did that tell us? Well, you had a kind of a bullish doji sandwich breakout. That tells us they didn't care anymore, but that pattern told us that there was going to be more upside through that resistance level. Watt, same scenario, kind of a bobble breakout. Wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one. There's a little teeny gap right here, not that far away, but what it does is it pretty much tells you that if you get in now, more than likely, if it fizzles up here, at least you're fizzling with a profit. And I put Sohu on here just to kind of illustrate that when they broke out of this fry pan bottom, it was done with a little kicker signal up through the moving averages, and this is what we're expecting. So somebody we were mentioning yesterday, a lot of people say, well, what's the delta of this? Would you trade this because of the delta? We're not interested in the Greeks. We're interested in what this move is going to be, which is a lot different than what this characteristic was. So we're not going to be deterred that if the delta is fairly flat, that's because the trading was fairly flat. What we're looking for is that new price move coming out of that pattern. IMMU, this is another case where when you see that doji gap up, looking for a 45 degree. Where's our potential now? Seeing if it comes up to the top of that trend channel. Monster, J-hook pattern. And look where you are. You're right here at this resistance level. If wave 1 equates to wave 3, we're going to break out through that level. Do you consider the volume on the chart? No. The only time I want to see excessive volume is at the point where we're starting to see a reversal. So I don't have them on here, but let's say, for example, either right here or right here, you saw a huge volume as a buy signal. This basically tells you there's been a lot of change of ownership when the reversal occurred, which is usually another added fluff to tell you there's more opportunity or more probabilities that something has changed, or the trend has changed. OCLR. Oh, I did that one already. Cool was observe the obvious. Look where this started back up. Right smack dab off the 50 with a bullish engulfing signal confirming the next day. Again, putting you in, if you started buying on this day or even on this day, it was telling you that's where the buying was starting. You could see how indecisive it was until you saw the bullish engulfing signal confirmed. Frac. Frac was one that somebody pointed out yesterday. Notice the bobble breakout. It did a doji today. What's that tell us? If it opens positive tomorrow on a doji sandwich, it's going Still going higher. NPTN, J-hook pattern. You can buy this one on Positive Trading tomorrow. NTNX. Notice the best friend signal. Notice what our entry strategy can be very clearly. Doji gap up. If they open positive, telling us the 50 is not going to act as support or as resistance, you want to be buying because of this right here. Best friend signal. And FBR. This one was just to illustrate what happens when you come out of a fry pan bottom. So even as junky as this one looked, if you happen to be in it, you still had the one criteria. You stay long as it doesn't close below the T line. So right now, there are tons of good-looking charts out there. And we could go on all night. But what we should be analyzing is if the market starts waffling in here, but we stay above the T line, you're still going to have a lot of opportunities based upon the patterns. Because if they're not selling the market off, the patterns are going to keep performing very well because there's no negative sentiment in the general market, so there's really no selling pressure fear factor. So that's about all I got tonight. We had a great session over the weekend. Again, kind of analyzing backwards how the T line is used most effectively with the signals and patterns. So I guess with that, is there any general questions on candlesticks? Would you be buying Dow calls? Probably wouldn't be my best the chart. Now I would buy them. You more have to buy them if they broke through the handle. All right. So if there's no more questions, when Jim does the double line, let's limit requests to 2 apiece. All right. In 4.2 seconds, go ahead and do the other double line. JD, stay long. J-hook pattern. So on all of these where you stay long, just use the T line as your stop. And always be non-lazy. And I say that because I'm always been lazy. Form, nothing yet. I mean, you can start buying this one. It just wouldn't be the best one yet until you can see it actually break out. I forget which one was downgraded today. Came back down through the T line and just got slammed. So just put a sell stop someplace where you don't think it should be trading and just let it sit there. AXTI, nothing. Wouldn't be long or short this one right now. GMNK just hasn't gotten started yet. Whoops. This one, nothing yet. I'd wait for the fry pan bottom to break out. What was the other one? Was it G? I forget what the other little one was. And STRL, right now all you can do is stay short with the anticipation that they're coming back down to test at least the 50. And CERN, this one you can get ready to buy. You can see the little scoop pattern. If you stopped out over here or closed out, you can get ready to buy back, especially if it comes up through this level. Ultra, you can buy this one if it comes up through the 50. You can see the scoopish type pattern, but just remember your percent return isn't going to be that fantastic on this one. Boeing, I would have thought picked up some strength today because of The negotiations with the Saudi Arabians. So you've got the scoop type pattern. You can buy this one on positive trading tomorrow based upon it opening positive after the doji. UCTT, if you stopped out, you should be back in it. J-hook pattern setting up. New media. Another one you can be buying. Make sure your volume's good, but you got a kicker type signal followed by a bullish doji sandwich. Definitely want to be buying this. Your first target, obviously, again, is at the 50-day moving average. Doji sandwich, yes, after a kicker signal. That's a strong combination. IBM, nothing yet. It's trying to base finally. So you want to get ready to buy this one on positive trading if you like IBM. Again, you're not going to make a hellacious amount of money. And Chalmers needed to stay above the T line today, which it did, but it definitely needs to open positive tomorrow. I tell you, they're moving up away from the T line. Kiwi, just stay long. This is the added confirmation that if you just keep in mind that nobody, percentage-wise, has the T line on their charts. The fact that we have it there and it bounces right off that level is kind of a natural support level. And when they come back and bounce off that natural support level, that's still a good indication that they're going to stay up above the, or keep the uptrend in progress. EPE, another one you can be buying off a little Morningstar signal. I'd be a buyer, especially if it came up through the 200, breaking out through this level. CXW. Doesn't look like anything here. You could probably be going short on this one. SBRA. Morningstar, Doji Sandwich, McMuffin. Get ready to buy this one on positive trading. ARCB. Another Doji Sandwich. You can buy this one. You can see that you've got pretty much a 30% upside potential if it comes back up to the 50-day moving average. J-hook pattern on SEDG. Stay long. AVEO. Nice fry pan bottom breakout. So this one is you stay long. You don't buy it here. You should be buying it right here. If you're long, you stay long. And Vivus, you can be buying this one. It's not going to be your best one. You better have huge volume on this one at that dollar price. EXAS, nothing yet. Still need to see it break through this downtrending channel and close above the T line. FLXN, start buying this one. Kind of your doji bullish confirmation. You can buy this one if you like it. The SPY, same as S&P, obviously. Trying to do a scoop type pattern. Micron, nothing here of any great excitement. You're in a sideways mode. I would rather pay $30 for it knowing that it broke out to the upside. Right now, there's just too much sideways to it to make it a good trending stock. Las Vegas Sands, another one that I would rather see break up through this level. You can be buying this one, but you want to be buying this one on strength. It's not going to be a great mover because it's probably going to get right back into this slow uptrending channel. Freeport, you can start buying this one, especially on a positive open, which would give you your McMuffin. Morningstar signal, opens positive, it gives you a doji sandwich breaking out through this level, giving you that little scoop pattern breakout. Whoops. Nugget gapped up today, back up above the 50. So you can be buying this J-hook bobble breakout on positive trading tomorrow, which means dust should be setting up a bearish J-hook pattern. You can be shorting this one. AXSM, doji gap up, doji gap up. You can buy this one on positive trading, breaking out through this area. Yeah, that would still be a good buy. Just make sure your volume's good. Boeing, look for the doji sandwich breakout. MGM, another one you can be buying on positive trading, continuing this steady uptrend. Montana, nothing. Should be out of this one. There's nothing here to tell you want to be long or short. Just nothing. BABA, stay long after your belt hold signal right here wiped out a lot of the sellers. Just stay long as it stays above the T line. AMD, nothing. Wouldn't be long or short. There's no trend that you can get your teeth into on this one. LBY. This one you can start buying, a little scoop type pattern back up above the T line. Anticipate it could move back up to the 50, which would give you a decent rate of return. MasterCard, nothing wildly exciting, but if you like it, you stay long, or you can still be buying calls on this one, anticipating this steady uptrend is staying in progress. NAC, KF, this one's just not there. There's nothing to get excited about until it can get up above the T line. XIV, stay long as it stays above the T line. Whoops. Oh boy, nothing here. Yeah, these I just stay away from. Yeah, you don't know what's happening here. There's no chart to analyze. Netflix, we did. Netflix, if it opens positive, you got the J-hook pattern. METC, another one you can be buying, anticipating it's heading to the 50 now that you're above the T line. The Qs just stay long. Apple is setting up for a J-hook pattern if it opens positive. CTRL. Nothing you can do here. Not a good trading stock in the fact that it's up, down. But if you like it, you just stay with it. Probably the T-line is too close to be trading it, so use the 20. Seems to be supporting off the 20. As long as it stays above the 20, you can stay long. Momo, that's a big bearish dark cloud, which tells you you can stay long. You definitely don't want to see it trade back below the T-line. This thing is driving me crazy. It just EBYI. Big breakout. This is the type where when it got up here, that far away from the T-line, you flip to your 10-minute chart, and you can see where the first selling started and where was it going to come back to, the T-line. So you could have been taking profits. Now, look how far it moved in the 10-minute chart. That means you flip to your 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart had a bearish engulfing signal, tweezer top. You're closing out right in here, anticipating they're coming back to test the T-line. FNSR, gap up, stay long, look for a 45 degree. Royal Caribbean, you can be buying this one on the little scoop type pattern and then just use the T-line as your stop, and you want to make sure it gets out through the candle very quickly. TTD, you can be buying this one. Notice how it's never been able to close below the T-line. Herbalife, be ready to buy this one on positive trading above on a positive open. You can see the left-right combo right here at the T-line. Allegheny, you can start buying this one. Not your greatest chart, but if it opens positive tomorrow after your best friend type signal, expect it to at least come back up toward your moving averages. O'Reilly's, stay short, nothing here. If you're short, you stay short and use the T-line as your stop. ATHN, just stay in this 45 degree until you see a sell signal. ESV, nothing real wildly exciting here either. If you like it, you can be buying it. You just have to be conscious of this downtrending channel. It probably wouldn't be on my favorites list. ESV, did I do that wrong? No, still an ESV. Same thing. What the heck is this thing? Okay. CENX. You can get ready to buy this slow curve, bullish engulfing, bouncing off the 50. Buy this one. Just watch to see what it does here at this level. Did it again. This thing is just driving me to drink tonight. MITL, nothing here. That's just a junky chart. Probably wouldn't even pay attention to it until they can break out above the 200. Momo earnings either today or tomorrow. All right. Tesla we did. There's really nothing in Tesla that is intriguing. I probably wouldn't be long or short. Amazon is very simple. You're in a steady uptrend as long as you stay above the T line. Yes, Jim is recording the session tonight. GSM. Nothing's coming up. That's great. Let's try another. VRX, stay long. You can still be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. Next J-hook pattern leg up to the 200. GSM again. Not enabled for GSM. All right. GMC. Oh, you can be buying this one, even though it's kind of a flat chart. If it moves from here back up to here, you still got about a 20% upside, maybe even a little bit more than that. And TRN. Nothing exciting here. You can see how junky this chart is. I probably wouldn't pay attention to it until it broke out through the $28 level. The reason for that is that with, you can see this junky channel is trading. Why put your money out at a risk factor that may only have a 3% at most move to the upside before stalling out? I'd rather go find a chart that's got a lot more energy to it. We did, maybe I didn't do BIDA yet tonight. BIDA was still setting up, trying to come out of this pattern. So you can still buy BIDA on positive trading tomorrow. There would be your doji sandwich. Obviously, you don't want to see it close back below the halfway point of this candle. That tells you you're back into the trading range again. Okay. Again, with this market back up above the T line, putting you back into the sideways trend, it's still allowing the strong stocks to act strong, letting the weak stocks act weak. But we've got the capabilities of finding the strong ones. All right, last two, Flexion. I don't remember it being very exciting. Yeah, you can be buying it. Just watch to see what it does with the 200. And Sienna, it's got a good gap up. Look for a 45 degree off of here. There's still a gap to fill up here. All right. With that, everybody have a good evening. We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. We'll see you then.